Okay, I think I'm live now. I've been trying to figure all of this stuff out. Um, yeah, I've been trying to figure all this stuff out since like a little bit ago. All right. Yeah, we're good. I think you can hear me because I can see them. Okay. So, hello everyone, and welcome to that 80s child, the Generation Y. And my name is Gabrielle. So, yes, you can hear me. So, yeah, so I figured I was supposed to do some vlogs. I had recorded like 2 that I never edited. I never got up because life has just been crazy. So, welcome to my bedroom. I don't I usually have my desk upstairs, but when it's like summertime, it gets super hot because we live on the 2nd and 3rd floor. And the 3rd floor is ungodly hot. So, so you can see my beautiful box fan that keeps me cool at night. My book bags because I'm still a child. My trash bag because, I cleaned up. And hush up. No one wants any. Go look out the window. Look for squirrels. Anyway. So you're going to hear my dogs. You're going to probably see my son as this is a live video. And you probably will hear from my mom because she comes in every few minutes to check on me. So, and I will go into detail about that. And I wanted to share. Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I'm going to share this if I can. Yeah, I can. Look at me go. All right. So, yeah, so I figured instead of doing recordings and then having to edit the whole thing, and instead of doing Facebook Lives that I get like maybe 2 people on there, let me grow this vlog video because I go onto the Facebook Lives talking about life things, and I'm like, that's what the vlog's supposed to be about, life in general. Watch. So instead of doing the Facebook Lives, I think I'm going to move it over to here. However, I do actually. Oh, I wanted to add that on there, but maybe later. I do also tarot readings, but I don't know what forum to put that on. And to my friends, I don't really charge anything, but if I'm going to do it on a more grander scale, I'll have to look into that. So I have a bunch of different tarot decks. I also do incense and herbs. Oh, oops. Gonna make a whole lot of noise and I'm gonna ramble, but that is a vlog, I suppose. So no editing, just straight up, here we are. I have my notes that I have in front of me as to kind of keep me a little bit in line. I am very happy about that I could figure out this setting. I had to reinstall everything on my computer recently, and I updated my graphics card recently as well. And because my son got a better graphics card, so I get his hand-me-downs. I don't do as much gaming as he does. I love gaming, don't get me wrong, but not anywhere near as much as he does. So you can see my Simon and Garfunkel album back there, and some Norman Rockwell figurines, statues, statuettes, whatever. That small mini fridge is my son's, but it's the fan stopped working. I was going to see if I could fix it. I mean, it wasn't that expensive, but I hate buying things I don't have to buy if I don't need to. So, thank you so much for joining. I have some things that I want to discuss. I don't know how long this live is going to be because, again, I don't know how much of a I don't know how much of a interruption I'm going to be getting. So, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining me. So my vlog, just if you have no idea, if this is the first time you're just picking up on this vlog, is just about nostalgic things, my life, dealing with depression, caring with a loved one with dementia, raising a kid. Kind of, I'm not giving you pointers and stuff because everyone has their own way of raising children. My son's 17, so he's not really a child, but I can help if you have any questions, but know that everyone's different, and I'm not here to judge how you do things. I know people judge how everybody else does things. That's what social media is, but whatever. I'm not judging. And also weight loss. I've lost 26 pounds thus far. I haven't really discussed that on these vlogs just yet, but that's going to be part of it. And like, as for nostalgic, I was born in 1983, so I'm 40 this year. I like to talk about things that are nostalgic. And you can check out my podcast, which I'll also mention later, which is That 80s Child, the Generation Y. I also have a blog. I have a website. My son and I are going to be doing another YouTube channel when things calm down at home here. And so far, this is going to be cathartic for me and kind of like therapy in a way. It could be reverse therapy if I get really bad comments because social media, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, where am I right now and who am I? So my name is Gabrielle. I live in New Jersey. I work as a marketing assistant. I'm currently on disability because of my mental health, and because I suffer from depression and anxiety, and I'm also having to take care of my mom who has dementia. I say this as in like this really nice, polite, high-pitched, nothing. It's okay. It's not okay. Seeing what they say with like Alzheimer's and anything like dementia related, it's the long goodbye. And there are days where I'm like, okay, we can get through this, and there are other days that I can't. And she has been suffering from this since, well, she's actually had signs prior to me realizing they were signs. Because apparently you could show signs 20 years before actual like when it's apparent that you have Alzheimer's or dementia. And now that I've read it and I've gone back and I've kind of reanalyzed things, I'm like, okay, well, she has been showing signs for a long time now. And I just didn't even realize that's what it was. I just thought it was, her not listening to me or her not paying attention. That was the biggest thing. I always thought, I'm like, she just doesn't pay attention. And it wasn't. It was more than that. So I apologize if you hear like spit in there or whatever. I hate that when I hear it from others. I had a guard that goes on top of this, but I don't know where it went. I also have like a boom arm that I need to set it up better. This is especially when I have a fan going. I also have a desk fan that you just hear that the constant hum of it. But I do like white noise at night, and I can't really live without a fan going. So hence fan. So I apologize for that, but that's just the way it is. So so my bullet points. So I have been living with depression since, well, I was diagnosed in 2018. I take medication for it. I did do some therapy sessions, but this was like over COVID, and you could only do it over the phone. And the only times that were available was when I was at work or at my lunch, which was very odd, having to sit in my car and have a therapy session when you can hear, even if you're over the loudspeaker, or like what my responses would be. It just wasn't conducive for me. So, and you'll see me fidget all the time. I apologize. And say, I hate that. I hate it. And I want to get back into some therapy, but another thing that's happening that causes this whole scenario to make it even worse and like worsen the effects of depression. I'm not trying to be like, oh, woe is me, but so my son and I, since he was born, because I am poor, have been on New Jersey state Medicaid for, I actually got kicked off for a little while, and then was brought back on when I actually had to move, and I wasn't able to go to the job that I was at the time because my son was younger, moving to a new place. I didn't want to leave him alone, and it's not like I can afford a nanny or something like that. So I decided to change jobs, and the job that I went to was UPS, working overnight, and I was not making a lot of money, so I was able to get back onto Medicaid. But because of after COVID, they made us having to renew and then update your information. And because I got a raise last year, now if I didn't move from, because I used to do it like administrative assistant, like logging in stuff at the job that I'm in, to marketing assistant, because that's my degrees going to be, which I'm almost done. That's another thing. I'm going to school. I'm going to Drexel University online and going for communications with a concentration in public relations. I also have a minor in psychology and English. My minor is done, and I only have these 2 more classes that I'm done, and then I have my degree. And marketing, it was in the same job that I was in, and it was just going to be an easier transition, and it would give me a foot in the door. Most of these jobs require you to have the bachelor's degree right off the bat, which I don't have yet, and like years of experience. And it's like, well, I'll have the degree, but I won't have the years of experience unless like you can have either or. But from the looks of it, most of it, like they want you to have had, I guess, if you were to do like internships or co-ops at the school that you're in. Anyway, so I figured this would be perfect. I was at the job for the current job for 3 years, and then I transitioned to the marketing area, which is under sales. I'm not a salesperson. Well, I'm related to a lot of salespeople. They were like car salesmen, and you think I would have that like kind of in my blood, but that with a person with a communications degree, I am socially awkward. I have gotten a lot better since I've been caring less about what people think about me. Hence me doing these social media things, the Facebook Lives. I put myself out there with the podcast. I haven't gotten any negative reviews, but then again, I'm not out there enough to get the general population, because I know the general population has lots to say. So we'll see if I ever get to that point. That's not really the main meat and potatoes that I'm looking for. I want to be a writer, a published writer. So anyway, marketing was kind of like a gray area that is based under communications and public relations that I wasn't really aiming for, but it gave me the foot in the door. So had been doing that for about a year and almost a half now. So there's my time in there as experience. Well, my mom has been experiencing decline, I think, since 2019, when she was having a problem working at her. Now, my mom was working up until 2020 when all of COVID happened, and she was going to retire anyway. So it just kind of worked out. Not that COVID was a good thing, but it just worked out that way, where I'm like, you know what, just retire, and you don't have to worry about being in that position, and you're older, I don't want you to get sick. And but she was having issues at work where she couldn't, her numbers were going down. It was a big job that they based a lot of things on numbers, and my mom did excellent up until about that 2019 was just a bad year for her. She was consistently on a list of where you're on probation because your numbers weren't there. and and when she was having a harder time learning new things, I chalked that up to age, but she also was like kind of doing other things that were just odd. What she was talking about, how she was talking, and how Lego sets. She loved Lego sets. Got my son into it, and she would always build things with us, or she would have her own sets that I got her. She got to the point where she couldn't follow the directions and put them together. She would consistently take it apart and couldn't figure it out. So like it was like weird things that you're like, well, why is this happening? Well, as the years progressed, she was getting progressively worse, and as last year I got her formally diagnosed. And they give you like a test out of like you get 30 points. She scored a 6. And that was asking like colors, counting from 1 to 10 and then 10 to 1, naming animals, how basic mathematic, like 1 plus 1. Because believe me, if they asked me how to do some algebraic equation, I'd be like, well, I'm scoring a 0. I can't math, no. But basic math that you should kind of know. And like your name, your address, the year, who the president is, and stuff like that. So my mom just was, some of this stuff, like you could ask people who are completely there and they don't know who the president is because they don't care, or unless they're living in a hole. But if you don't watch it, but she would know the way, at least within the work that she was doing, she would know. But anyway, so I went on to the FMLA federal to get some time, so one, it would keep my job safe so that I could take care of my mom, because my son's a teenager. He's a minor, shouldn't be taking care of her. But I was working a full-time job and doing school and trying to do everything else. I requested that if I could do work from home. My work, after a little like back and forth, I was able to do that. But then recently, as my mom has gotten worse, because if you didn't know already, dementia and Alzheimer's do not get better. You cannot cure it. There is no cure. There are like treatments that can kind of like slow it down. But if you're already at like a level, it's kind of a moot point. You really can't do anything about it. You're just kind of going with how it goes, So that's fine. Sorry, distracted. So she was getting worse, so I was actually having to I was actually taking my FMLA days. Before, I really wasn't. I was trying not to do it as best I could, so that I wasn't, I was trying to get like, more money and get like, a raise and doing better, and like not so much promotion in a sense, but at least more responsibility in the job, because I wanted to do better and kind of have that experience and then that good feedback from my supervisors, so that if I was going to get another job that offered ways to maneuver, then yes, like I would have like a good recommendation. Well, they started to give me issues when I asked if I could work from home, because I needed hours. I'm the only one that's making money and bringing home any money. And they gave me problems, and they're like, they went from like, we only want to do it for 1 day a week. And this is coming from people who are telling me I can only work 1 day a week at home. They work Monday through Friday at home. And the sales department, they work from home 2 days a week. Now, I understand, like, I have to be in because I was doing trade shows, and you have to be in there to get all the information out and the materials and whatever. But if say if I have that all done, and unless there, and I'm only 5 to 8 minutes away from work, I could have come in to do whatever needed to be done. I really don't know what their logic was. It went so I tried to get my mom's doctor to put me out for the 12 weeks of FMLA because it's not going to get better. I'm trying to get extra help for my mom so that she can have, like, there's an all day adult daycare through it's called MLTSS from New Jersey that'll pay for it if we financially, if we can be approved, but that takes time, so I'm still waiting for that. And there's like all this baloney. So my work, instead of me doing my work that I could do, which is all pretty much on the computer, except for the trade shows and like workshops that we might do, I could do everything on a computer at home. That's not a problem. So their logic was, we'd rather you just not be here at all. So I've been dealing with depression and it getting progressively worse because of my mom, and dealing with everything that's going on, and having all these other stressors that were just exacerbating it. So my doctor told me that if I needed time away to have one less thing to worry about, she could put me out for however, till we can get things sorted. So that's the route that I went, and here I am on disability. And it's not a lie. I was having really bad days. But I was pushing through it because that's just the way I am. That's the way I was raised, that, you just get it done. But I just don't get my work's logic. It was just like, why? So you would prefer to tack on more work with other people instead of me doing at least what I could do online? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. And then coming from people who work from home and coming from the sales department, that they work in the job for 3 days a week and work from home 2 days, and I was only allotted one. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. It still aggravates the heck out of me. So anyway. So my bullet points, everything all at once. Kind of like the movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Anyway. So because of me being out, my last paycheck was nothing. It was like $200. And I take care of my mom and my son and myself, and we have 2 dogs. And we have a rent. We rent. We don't own this. We would have a mortgage payment, so I guess one way or the other. And other bills. So I'm, waiting for the disability stuff to come through, and I still haven't gotten it. And that's stressing me out. Then our television that we use obviously for gaming, but it's out there for my mom, so because she relaxes when she has something on and focused on, so that she doesn't like have to get up and like roam. That died. I got a complaint because I was supposed to be mowing, but I have to, because of everything going on with mom, I didn't do the back, I did the front, so we got a complaint about that. So they actually brought other people in to do it. So I was like, all right, well, this is my fault. Bills, just, electric, gas, internet, my cell phone bill, because who has a landline anymore? But that would just be part of my internet, I guess. I don't even know how that works anymore. Because I think we had a landline through Comcast for a couple of years before. So it's like everything. And then like I have other issues like with people. Like I live in it's a duplex, but it's technically a quadplex. So it's a house separated in 2 and then separated again in half. So I have somebody that lives below me. So our land people own the one side, and then the other people own the other side. So there's 2 families on the levels. So I share a wall and a floor with their ceiling. And then I look out my window, and you can see right into somebody's house. So there's really no privacy at all. Like, I mean, I have to get new blinds for my room because they broke, because they were like brittle from whoever had them up prior, and however many years they were up prior to that. So I have to get new ones. I'm not used to that. I lived on a farm. I had 10 acres for since I was 6 years old up until 2018. So that was a long time, nearly 30 years. And I'm not used to being so close and hearing people and having to be aware of like how loud I listen to my music, how loud I play my game, if I'm getting into an argument or if I get angry. I can't just be like, not that I screamed at the top of my lungs. I don't really argue with anybody anymore. It's just more of like my bedroom's right across this person where their kitchen is. So like in the middle of the night, if they wanted to have like a 1 a.m. snack, their light goes on and it lights up my room. It's annoying. Stop it. No. What did I say? Tahoe. I don't even know what he sees half the time. So, yep, and then we have to worry about dogs barking and whatnot. So, it's just like, I understand people are here. Most people get the whole living in a community. I'm just not used to it, and I don't like having people right on top of me. I feel like I'm being like smothered. I've been here for nearly 4 years, but I still feel smothered. Stop. I will throw this comic book at you. Anyhow, so yes. So let me, because I have these, so that was everything, just everything going on. So dealing with taking care of a loved one. So my dad died when I was 17. He was much older. He was 22 years older than my mom. My mom is currently 73. So I was 20, like, it was in 2000 when he died. So he was 72 years old when he passed. So he was much older. And he smoked majority of his life. He led a hard life. He had a lot of like health problems. So we had to take care of him. Granted, I didn't have to like take care of, like my mom took care of like anything like bathing and stuff like that. But he had all of his like, for the most part, he could do everything himself except for needing help to get up and down because he couldn't really walk around very well. But like having to like, cater to what he needed and, this, that, and the other thing. So it was taking care of an elderly individual who was sick. But he didn't have any memory problems. All of his faculties were there. You could have a conversation with him. He could still yell at me when he got pissed off at me. So it's very much different. I thought I would be prepared if something happened to my mom, but dementia is a completely different beast that I knew about, but I wasn't prepared to all of the intricacies and differences. Hello. Are you done barking? Are you done barking? Yeah. This is my baby. They're both my babies. I love dogs. Dogs are my favorite. If I could have if I could have my 10 acres back, I'd have like 1 million dogs. I love them. I love them. I do. Except for when they don't listen to me, but they're alright. You want to say hi? Because you're such a pretty boy? Yes. You're such a pretty boy. So, his name is Tahoe. He's a black lab, black mouth cur mix. And he came from the south. Are you a southern gentleman? Are you a southern gentleman? Yes, you are. I love you too. Yes. You're the cutest. Yeah, you're my sweet boy. Alright, go lay down. Go ahead, go lay down. So, I have another dog, Odie, who's a Dachshund Catahoula leopard dog mix. And he is stubborn. He's a little shit sometimes. Excuse my language. But I love him to death. Tahoe, on the other hand, he actually does listen for the most part. Yes, you do. And he's a sweetie. He loves to be loved. Like, yeah. He just wants to have your attention and be part of whatever you're doing. Okay? Alright, go lay down. So, Yeah, he's a good boy. So yeah, so my mom. So we just found out actually because she had a CAT scan. She was at the hospital the other. When was she at the hospital? A week ago. Because she had a UTI and people with dementia or have like problems. You can actually, if you have a UTI and it's really bad, you can have like manic, uh, you can and mania and delusions. I didn't realize how bad it could be. I've never had it once, and that was it. Um, but so we found out after this CAT scan that she could have two. It could be Alzheimer's because she does have plaque, and she also has smaller vascular, so it could be vascular dementia, which actually makes you a lot more prone to strokes. So she has never had one, knock on wood. Hoping that stays the same forever. But we'll see how that goes. So this was my mom and dad when they were married. That's my dad on the left, obviously, and my mom. And they were married in 1981. And then my mom, this is what she used to look like back in I want to say this was the 60s. I think that's a very pretty picture of her. I don't know if she was in Florida or not. I can't really ask her too much because I don't know if she'll remember a lot of it. But this is my mom now, and I apologize. It's not the greatest picture, but she found her foundation, or like concealer, I should say, and she put it all over her face. And I took a picture of her because I was like, what did you do? She's actually looks a lot thinner now. Like it's kind of crazy. I'm really, it's upsetting. So, yeah. It's crazy when I go back to just when we first moved to this place to the next year and the next year, and you just see the progression in the pictures. It's sad, and there's really not much else I can say in that respect. So this is Dusty, but she made this. This is a little crocheted bat that you can have as a keychain. And you can see, like, she knew how to do, like, 3D. Look, she even has, like, the very intricate kind of, like, oh, and look, even, like, felt. I didn't even realize she had the felt in there. Look at that. All of that. She did all of this. And this was in 2018, 2019. She can't crochet even along, like, she can just crochet, like, strips. That's it. She can't do this anymore. Just in the matter of like 3 to 4 years. It's crazy. How much change that can happen, and it takes a toll on the caregiver, which they know they have caregiver burnout, which I think I've already experienced multiple times, but I don't have any help. So my dad's family we're not very close with anymore. After my dad passed away, I feel like they just kind of like faded into darkness. My mom's family, we really didn't talk to for a decade up until 2017 when we reconvened with her sister and her daughter, so like my cousins. And we hung out a couple of times after that, and then her sister passed away. And then now it's just my mom. And I understand people have lots of things going on. So that's why I'm hoping to get help from the state, because I don't have any money to do it myself. And I don't, like, unless I can get paid to sit here and take care of her, which they do have that, but it's like minimum wage. I can't, I'm only making a little bit more than minimum wage right now, and I can't afford it. New Jersey is one of the most expensive states, and I can't afford it. So yeah. Uh, so that also brings back to, like, I wish I was back at my house. I miss it, and I'll show you a picture. Here you go. So my house, you can see in the right hand corner, that was the house in the 2-story garage. It looks ginormous. It was my dad's. Um, he did carpentry. That's what he did. He was a master carpenter. He was a supervisor for RM Shoemaker in Philadelphia. He helped to build, and was on site to build hospitals and schools and things of that sort. So that was his, like, workshop up there. And that's one of our fields. That's only a small portion of our property. Most of it was wooded and forested. But that was the field that I used to go into all of the time. This was after our horses. We had horses, we had goats, we had barn cats and rabbits and chickens and ducks. And that field, even with horses, because we didn't actually put horses out there until much later. But that was where I would go out and commune with the land, and just that was my therapy, and I have lost that. And to give you another look, this was the front yard, and that was the in the distance was where how far away we were from the road. This was during Halloween. That my mom made look, it's a hanging cat with 3 pumpkins, and the cat's hanging off of, like, a sign. I can't remember what it said. I don't even think we have that anymore. So this is during Halloween, so it was fall, and look how beautiful. All that space. You have no idea how much I miss that. No idea how much I miss that. So, yeah, I could go on and on about all the different things, but I can do that on different vlogs. So, I'm not even gonna do it. I might save these for another live. Yeah. So the other thing is, what else do I have on here that I was gonna show you? Okay, yeah, I could do that. So right now I'm, like, in a conundrum as to what I'm gonna do about work. Like, I'm in disability right now, so that's not a problem. Because I'm not working. But if I can, do I want to continue doing what I'm doing? What else can I do? I could just go back to administrative stuff, but again, it's about pay. I need to make more money because right now I'm the income for everything else but rent. My mom has Social Security that comes in, and that pays for rent. Without her, things would not get paid. We could have a house with no electric and gas, or we could have have electric and gas and no food and a house like a roof over our head. There's choices, and none of them would be feasible at the moment, and at least to survive. So I need to be making more money, because if my mom ends up having to go into a home, I will lose out on that. And I know it's a horrible thing to say. I don't like the idea of that, but it is the truth. Like, I'm only a 1-income household. Now my son wants to work, but he was helping me watch my mom, so he really hasn't explored too much because of having to be here to take care of my mom, and he is my backup. Like, when because she gets up in the middle. She didn't get up last night, actually. I think I went once for the bathroom, and then she went back to sleep. Thank God, I had a pretty good night's sleep last night. Previous nights, not so much. So it's a matter of playing catch up. But if you have a loved one that you have to take care of, it doesn't have to be dementia. Please leave a comment. You aren't alone. We're all part of a community. There are groups that you can talk in. I'm not a group type of person. I'm a lone wolf. Now I need to really, like, kind of connect with other people. I, the thing is like this is how I get it off my chest, honestly. And talking to other people, just sitting there agreeing with me, is just like, okay, that's great. But it's not helping the actual issue. It's just affirming that they understand, and I get that they understand. I totally understand that. I understand you. I know that you are valid for thinking, like feeling just down and out and like tired as hell. Um, yeah. But what else? So, if you are interested in, well, if you found this, you know the YouTube channel, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway. Um, that's my YouTube channel, that 80s child, and I changed. I originally had it as something else, like Gabrielle's vlogs or something like that. And I think, you know what, my brand is that 80s child because that's what the podcast is, and it's the Generation Y, because I know that there's like a music group called that 80s child or something like, or 80s child. So it's that 80s child, the Generation Y. So yes, I hope that makes sense. Um, so if you can see from that, you can see like I've done a couple of different vlogs, but not a whole lot. I think I'm just gonna do lives. I can't do the editing; it takes too long, at least for now. Excuse me, jeez, Louise. Anyway, um, the other thing is my podcast. You can check that out. That is also that age child. You can check it out on Spotify or any place that you get your podcasts, like Google, Apple, um, Facebook. I even have it up on Facebook, YouTube. What else? Spotify. Anywhere. Podbean. There's anywhere you can possibly think of to get your podcasts. That's where it is. I have currently 3 seasons. I'm in the 3rd season. I haven't finished it. Again, because a lot of stuff has been going on at home. I will pick that 3rd season up as like, I'm thinking about the fall, because I'll be done my schooling. So yeah, please check that out. Oh, you can get it off of my website. You can listen directly off the website. And my website, so you can see, is right here. And you can get that at GabrielleCataldi.com, as it says. And that's all my blog information. I do top 5s. I know people really like lists. So I have a whole section on that. I have like writing, helping to write, like getting ideas, and maybe like, throwing some inspiration out there. I love to write poetry, short stories, flash fiction. Please check all of that out. And again, the podcast is up on there. So yeah, so that's what I have. Oh, and if you are a gamer, well, all right, if you're so I have 2 forms of, besides writing, there are other ways that I kind of get over, well, not get over, but it helps with depression and everything that's going on. And that's music and gaming. Music has helped me through a lot of, when I was in school, I was bullied. Check out my blog, check out my podcast about music and bullying. I have a blog about it, I have a podcast episode about it. And I might even do a vlog post about that, because it wasn't just the kids. It was also some teachers who were not so nice. So, yeah. So that's going to be some other things. And I want to try and get these lives up like 2 to 3 times a week. It will be at different times, because it's whenever I have a lull, and my mom has been pretty quiet all like this morning. She's watching Rosemary in Time. It's a British show. And it was out in like 2007, I think it was, or earlier. I can't remember. But the lady Pam Ferris is in it. If you know who she is, she played the Trunchbull in Matilda. So instead of seeing her like an angry woman, she's actually really cool in this Rosemary in Time show. She's really cool. Check it out. It's on BritBox. If you don't have that subscription, you should get it if you love British television. And I do. Like, I watched the IT Crowd the other night. And there was a couple other ones, the extras with Ricky Gervais. I don't know how old that is, but there's a couple other ones. Midsummer Murders. That has been a long running show. I did not realize how long it is. Like, there's a lot of it. Oh, Perot. If you like Perot. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, if you really like music, has helped me. Check out those blogs and the podcast episode. But if you also, this is the I made this. It's on YouTube Music, and I believe I put it on Spotify as well. But I don't have that up right now because I don't have Spotify Premium. I have YouTube Premium because it was Google. Google. It was under Google's thing, and then I changed the YouTube Premium now, so it's like I don't get the ads and whatnots. So this is all my music. This is the best of the best, in my opinion. Obviously, everybody has their opinion, and as you can see, as Simon and Garfunkel, that very album is right behind me. um, and I have Depeche Mode is one of my favorite bands, so you'll have a lot of Depeche Mode in there. Duran Duran's also another one, but there's recent things on there. There's some like harder metal stuff, and there's also dubstep things, and like it's a variety. So don't think there's gonna be the Monkees in there as well. So, and the Turtles, because I love Happy Together. That's a great song. Also some Frank Sinatra in there. That's life. That's what all the people say. So it's a good mix. And like I said, I had done a whole like campaign about how music is just where it's at to just get through the day-to-day grind, and just when you have really horrible days, it's there for you. And I really do wholeheartedly believe that the reason why I had survived the horribleness that I felt in high school, like that I wasn't one of those people who let it get to me to a point where I am not here today, was because of music and my imagination. And when I went home, with the exception of really bad days where it did spill over, but when I was home, I was safe. And I know not everybody has that, and I'm so sorry, but my mom and dad were my safe space, and my home was, like I said, I lived on 10 acres, so I lived a bubbled life for a very long time. Oh, my Verizon bill is due. I don't know how they're going to get paid. But anyway, sorry. Yeah, so music, very, so check it out. It's on Spotify. I think it's under Best of the Best, and I think it's under Rise on Rising, RISEON RISING. If not, check out that 80s Child music, okay? Not the band. Maybe check out the band. They could be good. I have no idea. Never listened to them. I just knew that they had the same name. I think it's called 80s Child, not that 80s Child. So there's a difference, kind of. And then gaming. So I know not everybody has Steam or plays computer-based games. Some of these are not just you can play them on the PlayStation. So I don't know. I know that there's like, you have your Nintendo people, you have your Sony people, PlayStation, and you have your Microsoft Xbox people. Some people, they still are off of their Segas. Okay, Segas were pretty cool. I never actually had it. I had a Sega Game Gear. We were mostly like Nintendo in the beginning and Atari. And then we got the first PlayStation, and we've just pretty much been a PlayStation family. I mean, my son is collecting all Nintendo because I think he needs a Nintendo 64, which I never owned. But we have the NES, the SNES. He has the Game Boy and all my Game Boy games that I still had. The DS, the Game Boy Advance, the Wii, the GameCube. I'm not doing this in any order. We have a Dreamcast, so there's your Sega. I need to get a new controller for that and a game because I don't know where my games went. I only had a few. And then we have all the PlayStations. My PS3 is giving me some issues, though. Anyhow, so yes. So we have Steam here. And we have a large variety of games. I'm pretty sure we have a total of we have a lot. We have over 1,200 games on here. As you can see, it's like a lot. Some of them we have Humble Bundle. That's the reason why. So my son is playing Baldur's Gate 3. I was playing. He plays that. I didn't. That's not me. We need to go deeper. We were playing that together. These must be new to from the. I didn't see. Okay, Tin Can. That seems interesting. Anyway, so I know I played Potion Craft. I love Tropico, Phasmophobia. Oh yeah, he loves Oblivion as well, which yeah. So yeah, like lots of different selections. We have a lot of different things. So yeah. So that's pretty much me. If you are interested in anything else that you want me to talk about, we can talk about nostalgic things on this vlog as well. Like I said, it was born in the 80s, was a teenager in the 90s, and then graduating in 01. So, I mean, I've seen a good selection of decades. And if there is anything that you want to discuss with caring for a parent, my 17-year-old son, I will talk about like how it was when he's growing up and how it was what I did. I mean, I'm not an expert, but if you're interested, if you want to talk about books, writing, please leave a comment. I will have my ideas on there, but if I see something that crops up and I could change, like all of this is off the top of my head. I only have and weight loss. I will discuss that. I was supposed to get bariatric surgery, but because my insurance cut me off, that's canceled. I actually have to write them, and because the nurse, they have a nurse navigator who makes sure you have to go through all these appointments, like pulmonology, cardiology, psychology, your dietitian stuff, your sleep study. I had to get an endoscopy, which I did do just because I do have other issues. So, getting old sucks, right? So, I'm not doing that anymore, but I was going to the gym up until last a week and a half now because I can't really leave. My mom shadows me. If you know what that means, it's shadowing is when somebody like attaches themselves to a person and worries where they are and needs to be where they are and like keep an eye on you. So it's hard for me to leave. And my son can only take so much. Like he's 17, so he only just turned 17, by the way. I can't believe he's gonna be an adult next year. Ay, 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 ay. But I do appreciate that he's another person to talk to, because I don't think I could do this if he was a small child. Like it would be damn near impossible, I think. I mean, whoever does that and has like a small kid, more power to you. You know what? If I could help in any way, I can't financially, but at least some support. I'm here. So yeah, please like and subscribe. I only have 2 subscribers. Let me see where's my YouTube channel. So yeah, 2 subscribers, and I have 7 videos. This will be the next one. I might do some Let's Plays. I don't know. I can talk. Depends on the game. I love Dragon Age. I might play that. I have to like download it on my computer. But yeah, so please like, subscribe, That 80s Child. I will have another YouTube channel with my son at eventually, but not right now, because like I said, we have to get stuff sorted out, and I don't have any funds to help with that anyway. So please check out my other vlogs, my podcast, my blog, my website, which is the blog. and I can put that all in the description thereafter. I don't know how to. Otherwise, it's GabrielleCataldi.com, and it's that 80s child, the Generation Y. It's on Spotify and on the website, and yeah, anywhere you get your podcasts. So please check it out. I also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I can link them at a later date. Not that important. But yeah, please like, subscribe, check out my other stuff, and leave some comments as to what you want to hear about. Because I want to do these lives a little bit more frequently, and I think that'll be more like the vlogging thing. So I don't wear makeup. I don't do my hair. I brushed it though. I don't like get dressed up. This is me. This is how it is. This is what you see me in reality. So what you see is what you get. Just thought I had to add that in there. Well then, have a good rest of today. Is what, Sunday? Jesus. And I will be around. Bye.